Well, what's it like to have to get up very early in the morning to ride a bus to school in Lee County? Thousands of kids walk and wait in the dark every school day. And after two young girls were hit and killed within weeks of each other at bus stops, we wanted to know what's changed.
Wink News investigative reporter Sara Girard gives us a first-hand look at what it's like for kids riding the bus right here in Lee County and how the school district is responding.
It's Friday morning, early morning, 4:21 a.m. to be exact. And 15-year-old Autumn is getting ready. It's the same routine every school day. And every day she steps out into complete darkness.
You too.
This is her walk to the bus stop at 4:50 a.m.
The bus typically picks me up like at 5 to 5:05, and then I get to school at 6:30.
This day her bus is late, and without the light of our cameras, she sits in the dark, dodging sprinklers.
Do you think a 15-year-old should be sitting in the dark?
Probably not.
She's one of more than 22,000 Lee County students who have to catch their bus before 6:10 a.m. Depending on the time of year, that's well before the sun comes up. Autumn waits out here at 5 a.m. because her bus ride is 90 minutes long. And it takes so long because rather than go to the school closest to her, she chose to go to a special program much farther away. In Lee County, 60% of high schoolers also make that choice.
Even though it sort of like stings to have to wake up so early, like it helps in the long run, I guess.
And she says she feels safe, but not everyone does.
I just feel safer with being here with her so that if anything happens, I would be here.
Janet Atwood's daughter, Laura, also chose a school farther away. It's so early and dark, her mom waits with her. Laura's ride, also 90 minutes.
Do I prefer that school start a little later? Probably, but it's worth doing, for sure.
After the deaths of Alana Tamplin in North Fort Myers and Layla Aiken in Cape Coral, the Lee County School District has been under the microscope.
It's not a simple fix.
And at this town hall in April, parents demanded more lighting, sidewalks, and benches at and around school bus stops, even questioning school choice and start times.
Why is it that we have to send our kids to school in the dark?
School board member Mary Fisher says the district is partnering with local governments to help solve these problems.
And we're going to see how it works, whether the kids use the benches or not, whether they are visible enough, because there's a huge cost factor that goes into the millions.
We just all need to work together to find the best solution.
School board member Chris Patrica says busing kids to their choice school puts everyone on an even playing field, even when it's not the school closest to them.
We simply don't have the resources or the manpower to replicate those programs everywhere.
So are school start times part of the discussion?
We haven't publicly asked the question as a board yet, so we haven't been able to address it. But it is a conversation that will take place over the summer.
One problem there, pushing school later would mean less time for after-school activities, something Autumn doesn't want to see happen.
Because it would make game times later, make practices later.
So for her, the long rides and early wake-up calls are worth it. But she does want to see something change.
Just to make a safer environment for the kids to stay in and wait for their bus to go to school.
That way, she and thousands of other students get to choose and feel safer.
Well, it's the last day of school in Lee County, and for thousands of kids, that means a break from middle-of-the-night wake-up calls and long, dark bus rides.
But does it have to be this way? Wink News investigative reporter Sara Girard shows us why a bus driver shortage is snowballing into all kinds of problems.
How was your ride to school?
So tired.
When we first introduced you to Autumn, we told you she wakes up at 4 a.m. And to get to school, she has to make it to her bus stop before 5 a.m.
The bus typically picks me up like at 5 to 5:05, and then I get to school at 6:30.
On this day, her bus is almost 30 minutes late, and when it arrives, a sub is behind the wheel. She has to drive a complicated route from South Fort Myers through Fort Myers Beach to Bonita Springs. We follow for an hour before more kids get on. After roughly 90 minutes, we arrive at Estero High.
We just go everywhere.
Autumn wishes the district could just split her route into two, but she also has an idea of why that can't happen.
Because the school doesn't have enough buses.
Well, actually, Lee County schools don't have enough drivers.
It's a simple math problem. If you have 751 routes
and you don't have 751 drivers, you're going to struggle to get kids to and from school on time.
Director of Transportation Operations Roger Lloyd says the district is currently down to 725 drivers, 26 less than what they need.
The bottom line is we have late buses.
The district says it's doing what it can to make the job more appealing. Lloyd says they've bumped up the starting salary for a regular driver to roughly $16 an hour.
So we're trying our best to be competitive.
The problem is, a quick search on Glassdoor shows you can make a lot more driving for other companies. With school bus drivers already taking on more routes, things can get even trickier when they call in sick and the others have to pick up the slack.
Even this morning on the radios, they were like, hey guys, there's a shortage of buses today and bus drivers. Be nice and pick up other people's kids.
The district couldn't provide the number of drivers who call out per day because they say it varies. But Autumn says she has a substitute driver at least once a month.
It sort of stinks having to have a sub because they don't know your route, they don't know where they're going.
Autumn doesn't mind when it's her regular driver. She just sleeps. But when there's a sub,
every 10 minutes I was like, how do we go again? I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, sure, you turn this way. I'm like, yeah.
Lloyd says that can add an extra 20 to 30 minutes to the ride.
I can tell you it does stress my drivers out showing up late because they build relationships with the kids. And then the kids are sitting there waiting and they don't want their kids waiting 10, 15, 20 minutes for them.
Without those spots filled,
every problem kind of compounds and it's a domino effect.
So bus rides stay long and kids like Autumn just have to wait it out. The school district says the average bus ride is 35 minutes long, and they try to keep routes under 70 minutes. Last week, we asked how many kids ride the bus for an hour or longer, and we're still waiting for the district to figure out how much they charge us so they can research the answer. I'm investigative reporter Sara Girard, Wink News. Now.
Only on Wink News can you see what's going on here. It's a bit hard to make out because it's very dark, but that's a boy riding his bike to his bus stop this morning. Harder to tell that he's in the road and there's really no place else for him to be because there's no sidewalk. His mother says she's been pleading all year to get her son stopped, moved from a dark corner into the light.
I just hate seeing these innocent kids getting hurt or even dying. You know, it's insane.
Her son's stop is in Lehigh Acres, where Wink News investigative reporter Sara Girard learned 3 months after the start of the school year, he's still waiting in the dark.
This is where that student has been waiting for the bus all school year long. Look around. There are no streetlights at this intersection. But one mom told us once Wink News got involved, she saw some changes. Sunrise may be coming 1 hour earlier than it did last week, but for this 14-year-old, it didn't do much.
I mean, I would leave the house at 5:10, and then I'll get here at like 5:15.
Every morning, just after 5 a.m., he rides his bike down this Lehigh Acres street to his bus stop and waits in complete darkness.
I wish there was lights on every single street. That would just make it better. That would make me feel safe.
No street light, no sidewalk.
Do people speed?
Sometimes.
Vinny D'Souza has been doing this all school year.
With somebody like him, yeah.
And Tuesday morning was no different.
It makes him very scared. It makes me scared too.
We first met his mom, Toledo Moraes, 12 weeks ago in August. She told us then, with a younger daughter at home, she can't always wait with him.
He goes, Mom, I don't want to be here alone.
It was also in August we learned the Lehigh Acres Municipal Street Lighting Unit invested $3 million into lighting Lehigh, prioritizing at least 400 lights at bus stops, split between LCEC and FPL. For Vinny's stop, FPL told us installation would begin in 8 to 12 weeks. Skip ahead 12 weeks later, FPL tells us they started installation, just not in this part of Lehigh. Moraes says she's been pleading with the district to move the stop since the beginning of the year.
They told me straight off the bat they could not change it, and for me to just put lights on his backpack and, on his bike, and I said, well, okay.
So Vinny thought it would be even longer before he had light, until his mom reached out to the school district one more time.
Called yesterday and told them that I had Wink News coming out because I was going to do an interview again, and then all of a sudden today in the morning, I look at my phone and his bus stop changed.
The district told me that's not the case, and they made the decision last Friday. Mariah says she's happy, but this isn't over.
I think that we all want a change. You know, if it's putting more lights or changing the time that the school starts.
She's just hoping it doesn't take another life.
Yeah, it's 5:25.
To make some more changes.
My bus should be coming.
I spoke with the school district today. They told me every bus stop is safe. As for lighting Lehigh, LCEC told me they finished their portion, roughly 230 lights, at the end of August. FPL tells me they expect to light bus stops by the end of January. I'm investigative reporter Sara Girard, Wink News, now.